I'm Peggy Magnanelli, Remax Results. I'm a local real estate agent in Frederick, Maryland.
My name is Kevin Carey with Caliber Home Loans. I'm also located in Frederick, Maryland. So obviously, Peggy, look, obviously we're understanding that inventory is really low. I hear that competition for listings, buyers, multiple contracts. Tell me what you're seeing on your side, obviously as an agent, when you're listing a house and obviously working with buyers, and what the market's doing right now to really help people so they understand what they're getting themselves into, because we're obviously in a very unique market than what a normal market would look like.
Oh yeah, inventory is incredibly low. So we're seeing multiple offers on listings. It's been sometimes 7, 8. We are seeing people waiving the home inspection contingency. We're seeing people going $20,000 over asking. We are seeing people guaranteeing the over appraisal money. So it's been a really interesting market. It's been a very tough market for buyers. They're not getting closing cost help. So buyers, when they go out there, have to realize that they're going to have their down payment and closing costs.
So you said in your statement, like guaranteeing the value or something based on appraisal. Are you go a little bit more into that? Explain to the people out there what you're meaning about based on the house appraising, based on what they're offering, what that guarantee means.
Okay, so that means that so let's say the house is priced at $450,000.
Okay.
And you offer $465. You're guaranteeing that if the house only appraises for $450, that you will pay the difference in cash between the appraised value and the house, then the house price and the contract price at $465.
Let me go a little farther what that means from the lending side, because obviously what that means in that scenario, right? You got an offer price of $465, house only appraises for $450. From a lending side, we will only lend you based on the appraised value or sales price, whichever is lower. So you may be offering $465, but the house only appraises $450, and what you're doing is guaranteeing is that saying, look, we're looking at it, okay, $450, so let's say you were putting down 5%. So you got 5% plus closing costs based on the $450 plus $15,000 to make up the difference between what you offered and what the house appraised for.
Right.
So obviously right now the market is really competitive. People are bidding because that's what has to be done when there's multiple offers. And like you said, I mean, offers are 10, 12 sometimes on one house, and inventory is really low. So when you're getting out there in the market right now, just be aware of what that means. A lot of times when we get people qualified, let's say they qualify up to $450, we're telling them, look around $400 to $425.
Right.
And the reason why is because you may have to bid up to $450 more to get the property.
Correct.
Just based on these market conditions. So it's a little bit different right now. Obviously from a sales side, what does that mean for a seller? Based on, hey, they think their house, you put their house on the market for $450 and then offers come in more. What does that mean for them?
Well, and it's a very different dynamic. And I've had that exact scenario happen. We did put a house on the market at $450, and we got an offer at $465. And we did ask that the buyer guarantee that they would pay the difference if it didn't appraise. And to be honest with you, I don't know whether or not it appraised for $450, but the buyer did pay whatever the difference was because it settled at $465.
So like I said, obviously the market right now is just abnormal.
It is abnormal.
I think historically speaking, especially in Frederick County, I think the amount of inventory is probably at a historical low.
Actually, the other day I was on our local MLS. I took out the new construction. There were only 137 resale houses in the entire county on the market.
Wow. And
that included the coming soon.
So let me ask you a question. In a normal market, right? Not a market where it's like, right now it's a seller's market is what
Correct.
we call it, because obviously there's low inventory, so everything's an advantage of the seller,
Right.
which is why the buyer has to bid higher and there's no closing costs. But in a normal market, how many houses are typically on the market compared to what there are now, which is give the people an understanding of
In
why
a
it's
winter
open.
market, there's usually around 900 to 1,000 houses.
Wow.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I mean, obviously that's another reason why I'm understanding why the market is what it is. And like I said, if you're looking to sell, it's a phenomenal time.
Absolutely.
And look, buying right now is a great time. Rates are really low. I mean, historically low. We're in the twos.
Yeah, that's
for
just
some
crazy.
for some products and things like that. But I'd say at the end of the day, it's just about making sure you're educated. We want to make sure before you get out there and start looking, because a lot of times we'll hear, hey, my friends of mine bought, a year ago, right? And they've got this great house, and I heard they got all their closing costs paid for.
Right.
And all of a sudden they come into the market and they're assuming
They can get
they're going to get the same exact thing. And all of a sudden you go, well, wait a minute. What do you mean I got to go over price and I can't get closing costs out?
Right. That's
Yeah,
that's what gonna happen in this market.
Exactly. So just again, it's just about educating and making sure you understand what you're getting yourself into as we go through this.
Exactly.